You got me. Who else do we have? Give me an A. Give me a J. Give me an O. Give me a D. Oh, what do you got? J. Just the initials of the baddest, meaning good, sports producer in all the land. It's AJOD. It's Arthur. Good morning.
Hi. How are you?
Do you mean that, do you?
Yeah.
Gareth. Manilow. Fry. Keown. The Irish Tea. The Welsh Town and Gavin and Stacey. Yeah. Just some of the great Barrys, but not the greatest. We're lucky enough to have that one with us here this morning. He's back. It's Adrian, the big dog, Barry. Woof woof.
Good morning to you.
How are you?
I'm very good, yeah. Flying it. How are you? More like it.
Very well. Yeah, very well. Hump day, they call this.
You like to put a bit of detail into your intros, don't you?
Hump day,
I don't think you can't do that on a bank holiday week.
And
no, yeah, I agree
that's what I was getting to.
Yeah.
You know, we have a bit of time. I was going to take my time with that sentence. You can't really call it when it's the second day of the week, and you certainly can't call it when yourself is here to bring the energy up. What do you think of that?
No pressure, like.
No, don't look at it that way. Don't look at David Clifford. David Clifford being called the GOAT and he took it badly.
Can I kick things off with reflections on your breakfast and how surprised I am?
Yeah, please. By all means.
Dear viewer.
You are welcome,
listener.
Everyone.
He loves a stodgy bit of porridge, except dry. Actually dry flakes on top of it. Disgusting looking is what I would suggest.
Yeah. I don't enjoy porridge in any way, but I have it because it's somewhat healthy.
And you've obviously tried the alternative, as in putting a bit of liquid in there.
I don't like the texture of liquidized food.
Wow.
I don't eat yogurts. Here's a question.
What's your beef?
Here's a question for you. Do you eat or drink soup?
Eat.
Yeah, because if you're thirsty, you're not like, there's some soup there, I'm gasping. But you'd eat soup. Would you have soup now at your wedding as an option?
If you were thirsty, yeah. If you're thirsty, you wouldn't have give me that coffee there. I mean, it's just a heat thing, I think, more so than a.
Give me that coffee.
And also, you have to. You need.
Give me that coffee.
You need a utensil to consume it. So
if you need a utensil,
I think that you're eating.
Well, you could drink water with a spoon if you wanted. It'd be mental.
You could say straws a utensil if you want to go that far. So do you make it on water or milk?
Water.
Yeah.
Water.
What's going on?
I've been told that milk is slightly more palatable, but I've had traditional porridge like Flahavans, and there are other great brands out there. But the look that it has on the label, I would have it like that.
Kilbeggan porridge, by the way.
There is a texture that I will accept, but I just can't quite nail it.
But what you're doing there, I suspect, from the outside looking in here, that if somebody was to make you a proper bowl of porridge, as it should be made, like a nice creamy bowl of porridge. What did you say there? That something about I don't like it, but I sort of eat it anyway.
Yeah, a bit like my relationship with bananas would be the same.
It's just bizarre,
Yeah.
But you could make it nicely.
Banana.
Get a few berries in there, a few chia seeds.
Oh yeah, once I put strawberries in there and it was good.
Delicious.
Yeah, it was that improved.
I just don't understand why you're struggling out with something that could be really delicious.
I don't think about it. Do you know that kind of way? I'd be having porridge and I'm not thinking about eating it. Like our former colleague Dermot Whedon, now he's all, and he's all about being present and mindfulness and all that. But I'm not present when I'm actually consuming the porridge. You're both checking the comments there to see if this is hitting off.
That's a shame. That's a shame because it can be delicious. A shot of. Do you ever have a little? Do you ever have a little shot of whiskey in it?
In the porridge?
Yeah.
What is this? A 1970s newsroom?
Arthur, a man of your culture.
What are you talking about?
I've never had a shot of whiskey in a porridge.
Drinking whiskey
Arthur,
in the morning.
Drink problem, do you?
It is. You can't be having it of a weekday morning when you're about to go in.
Is that what you did this morning? Would that explain this mood?
I have done it.
When else would you have it?
When were you last sober?
Why? When else?
Would you have it if not the morning?
Oh no, you see, you'd have it in the morning. Just not a morning that you're planning to go to work. That's
okay.
And I'm not saying you'd be Stephen after it, obviously. It's not exactly, you're not sitting down to have a feed of porter. It's like a small bit of whiskey in the porridge. It is absolutely delicious. I promise you.
Do you think is it sadder as the day goes on? As the day goes on, is it sadder to have porridge? Do you know, if you have porridge at 7 p.m, is it a bit depressing? It's like when if you go buy a coffee chain at on Saturday night at 8 and there's people in there having coffee, it always depresses me. But then 12 hours later, it's one of the greatest places.
Well, that's on you.
Sunday morning.
Just non-drinkers.
Yeah.
Where else do you go?
That's very judgmental, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it's just a feeling I have.
That a judgmental one.
No, you're judging my...
Judgy.
You know what I mean?
Anyway, I'm just saying to you, liquid up your porridge a bit.
I'm trying... Look,
not when you're coming into work, but some point, right, when you're on a rare romantic weekend away somewhere,
having porridge.
just say to them, listen, shot of whiskey.
Come on, love. I'm going to take you out for some porridge.
Shot of whiskey.
Come on.
Try it.
Do you like across your day?
Yeah. This is going to be good now.
Is there a meal that do you put more work into food that you'll enjoy?
Dinner.
You'll enjoy your dinner.
Oh yeah. No, I could never. It's a very good point actually that I would never just eat dinner. I'd be present for dinner. Dinner's huge for me in my culture.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think a lot about being present?
Great question. That's Imro Award winning 2013. Good. That's when he won it. Do you know that? Do you know Adrian's?
Come on.
You're delaying.
Do you know that?
What?
Imro won. Imro awarded Adrian Sports Broadcaster of the Year.
Come on, we've got plenty of porridge comments. Plenty of porridge comments here. Come on.
What's your question again? Sorry.
Are you present?
Well, that's a good example
correct.
there. Throughout my day.
Are you present when you're thinking about being present?
Always one.
So you were thinking about being present while you're eating your porridge. Does that not, by its very nature, make you not present?
When I'm eating porridge, I generally watching highlights or reading the newspaper.
So
I'm just literally fueling, and I realise that it's better than Cocoa Pops or cornflakes. It's also easier because it's so stodgy that it comes in lumps. So you don't have to look at what you're doing. Basically, you can get. It's like a good midfielder. It's peripheral vision will do you.
Insta or tweet a picture of your porridge tomorrow just to give the listeners a view. It was rank looking. I'm not going to lie to you.
That's very judgmental. That's very judgmental. And you have a defensive body language. You have your arms folded. You're sitting forward. You've contorted your face a bit. And I suppose the question is to you. Like I'd very rarely see you have a morning. Very rare. It's what rare is wonderful. And I thought that was the case. But why does it bother you? That's my question to you. Why would something like that bother you?
It's a great question, Colm. Great question.
Is that because you care about me and you want the best for me?
Correct. I feel as if there's a world just beyond your current reach that could open up a whole new avenue of taste for you.
If someone wants to make me nice porridge, I'll give it a go. I've no problem with that. I'll give it a Gary. Do you ever hear that phrase? My coach in Cork, Cottage Trinity, used to say that, right? Give it a Gary, which means have a shot.
Huh?
Exactly. Thank you, yeah. I bought a bucket hat that we were giving away at All Together now. These bucket hats. And they were all over the shop. I forgot to say that to you yesterday. I don't feel like you asked me enough questions about it yesterday, actually. Anything else you want to know about it?
Jesus Christ, he was thinking about this all yesterday afternoon.
I think we talked about it for like 15 minutes.
I didn't think you were into it.
What did you feel you wanted to talk about that you weren't asked about?
No, I do. I think that Brian Kerr delivered one of the great You Had to Be There's, which is no surprise, obviously. But it's just his level of life experience is incredible. You thought I had said 30 when I said 13.
I thought
when he was at the 66 World Cup.
Brian has his 90th coming up.
So we started with that. But even that, right? Even his actual age, he's in phenomenal shape in every sense of the word. He had such a great time all weekends, and he came back to doing a special bonus slot as well on Sunday. He wasn't scheduled to do it, but he did it.
What slot was that?
He did. He went on stage, I believe,
because you weren't there
in the camogie and football part of the show. Yeah, or he could have also appeared at the League of Ireland slot the day before, but he was very present anyway. Backstage a lot,
very, very interesting.
Part of the team.
Did you give it a last jack when you were down there? Or?
Yeah, well, it was great. I had a great schedule because my work was primarily, in fact, wholly done by Friday night. We were there for the weekend.
Nice.
There's a shocking revelation there in the comments.
Excuse me?
There's a shocking revelation in the comments. Who's your biggest fan?
DK.
DK. Works for Flavins.
Would you stop? Would you stop? It's a very one-sided relationship. The DK asks everything about me and I never ask about DK.
I wonder, could you go in and, a bit like our whiskey chat, could you go in and do is there a porridge?
A porridge tasting?
Yeah. Because
Jeez,
I honestly think that your eyes...
Do you eat porridge?
Who are those? Occasionally, I'm more of a muesli man now, but I make porridge for the kids all the time and I'd be really conscious of making them
You'd be more conscious now after this chat.
Nice bowl of porridge.
Oh, I would never do that to...
by
the way, I would never make the porridge like I do for my loved ones. I would never do that to them.
You'd never treat yourself...
No, I would never do what I do to myself to the other people in my life.
Yeah.
Never.
So, but
Sorry, you were saying there.
I just don't understand. You get that it's horrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yet you persist.
It's very easy to make, you see, because it's just like put water in from the tap
very easy to make
which is 50 yards that way, right? And then put it into the microwave for 2 minutes.
There's
go
a
about your
fridge
business.
full of milk.
Again, it goes back to my issue with texture.
Well,
I can't have yogurts, like.
You can't.
So my actual biggest fear, right? This is a genuine fear. I was talking to Owen Shane about this. He had his a fear of loud noises, like sudden noises, right? Because the hooter was a big problem for him at Crow Park. My fear Do you want to hear this, no?
Point. No, I do, but that's an excellent point.
It's specifically Croke Park or loud noises?
The sharpness. Somebody, genuinely, I've no fear of loud noises, but the start, that Hooter's wrong. This seems like such a weird point.
Yeah.
But like the bit that it comes in on is like the highest.
Yeah.
But you not just ease it in a bit. Like,
we asked.
I need to frighten people.
We asked Niall Morgan about it, and he was like, "It's insane." And Niall Morgan's present in the game at the time. So that's one's fear. My actual big fear, and it might have something to do with this Porridge stuff, is
somebody just asked, "What's your favourite humming noise?"
I can't watch people brush their teeth.
What?
I can't.
Have you appeared at many people's sinks going, "Oh
no, but
not for me"?
It's in movies all the time. It's all
even in movies?
Yeah, they always show a character brushing their teeth,
but
talking, right?
There's an ASMR aspect to it.
So I don't mind the act of it. Obviously, I engage in it twice daily. Don't worry about that aspect of it, right? But I can't watch I can't watch the foam. The foam that gathers.
I'm slightly concerned.
And people, for some reason, people insist on having a conversation when they're brushing their teeth, which is insane. Like, it's only 30 seconds of your life. Just stay quiet.
I feel as if you're talking about one person here.
People chat away. No.
I feel
There's a person that you're thinking about who is very conscious of this and stays away.
So who else could we be talking about?
I'm telling you, it happens all the time. If you're away with people of a weekend, people are doing it willy-nilly. A big orgy of toothbrushing. And then if you watch sitcoms and movies, the character is always brushing their teeth, right? Seemingly anyway. Because so it's so bad for me, I have to look away. I cannot look at someone brush their teeth with the foam. The foam gathering and everything.
Exceptionally interesting individual.
So it goes back to the yogurt thing and the soup thing. At a wedding now, if I've had too many before dinner, I'll have soup.
What did you have for your starter?
It wasn't soup, but it's a good question. You were there.
I know.
You were asking for soup, right?
As much as the match as you recall.
Asking for soup.
I don't know, but it wasn't soup anyway. So yeah, I can't eat liquidized food basically. Like smoothies, nah, gone.
Oh.
Yeah, gone. Can't do it.
What an interesting individual.
Can't do it. So anyway, that I think it all stems from there. So here we are, 7:44 a.m. Not a child watch in the sense of no sport talked. It's like yesterday's show as well. Do you want to stay with this non-sport stuff, or do you want to get into the reason we're all paid, I suppose? You want to talk about Declan Darcy, do you?
Yeah.
You're excited. So well, first of all, we should talk about the reports, should we?
I thought you were going to say that. I don't know if excitement quite cuts it, but
you are interested.
It's being reported online. The Irish Examiner had it, and I've seen it pop up a couple of other spots, that Declan Darcy is the man that is going to get the Dublin job. He was somebody, obviously, that's been mooted in respect to that job for quite some time. Was there under Jim Gavin. Really respected. Like, you hear a lot of the former players talking about him in hushed and great tones. Obviously has been away working with Leinster for the last number of years. Went in there, I think, in 22, possibly full time at least. Anyway, he's still on the website as performance coach. So it'll be interesting to see, like, is he going to straddle both horses and exactly how all that works out? Like, because there will be a demand, I'm sure, to have him in two dressing rooms at one time.
Yeah, one's a job, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. He gets paid for one.
But it's not like a 9-to-5 job. There will be an overlap of games, and as performance coach, like, I don't know, maybe...
Is it not a 9-to-5 job now for him?
Well, I'm assuming that he's at matches, and, like, as performance coach, you would expect at a certain point you'd need to be in the vicinity of the performance. I don't know, but I presume, obviously, if this is true, that he is going to get the gig, that all of that has been cleared, and either he's stepping into some different capacity with Leinster, or stepping away from that, or, you know, obviously he's not doing this and then turning up at UCD tomorrow morning going, it's all right with you lads, just going to take this. So I presume that's all in the clear, but...
It's interesting with Dublin, because I definitely fell into the trap of assuming that Ger Brennan was going to get it as soon as he walked away from Louth.
Yeah.
Very, very early in Ger Brennan's career is the only thing I'd say. Like, Louth is not Dublin. With the best world.
So why not stay at Louth then?
That I don't know, but maybe he's going in here as a backroom staff member.
Yeah.
Obviously,
no way.
You don't think?
After winning a Leinster championship with Louth.
Well, sure, it's now the...
He has more managerial experience than the guy who's coming in.
It's now nearly the done thing.
As a guy who he was captain, wasn't he, in 11?
Andy Moore and Cian O'Neill.
Yeah, but there's a difference going from Leitrim to Monaghan.
Who else am I missing out on?
Leitrim didn't, I think even that's a slight.
Cian O'Neill?
Well, Cian, again, I don't, like, where has he managed? I'm not, was he
Kildare
there briefly?
Yeah.
I guess some people figure maybe it's not for them. I don't know if Cian O'Neill still harbours dreams of getting into intercounty management. Maybe he does, but like, he's obviously quite satisfied being part of high performing teams. But I
don't know. I'd say if you're Ger Brennan, listen, I don't know. Look, another few years at Louth certainly would have done no harm potentially in terms of the Dublin gig long term, but maybe he's got his eyes set on that at some point down the track. I don't know that I haven't seen him been linked necessarily with Declan Darcy's backroom staff, if that is in fact confirmed, but we shall see. I don't know. Listen, there could be other factors. He might have nothing to do with Dublin, and there might be other factors in why he stood away. But like you would just think, it's such an exciting gig to get, and obviously for somebody like Declan Darcy, very interesting character. Won a Connacht title with Leitrim in was it '94? They won it under John O'Mahony and captained that team as a young fella.
So, yeah.
He's a dub through and through, but his dad was from. Is it Ahwellan in Leitrim? Is that a town in Leitrim? I think it is. And captained them to that title, and then a couple of years later came back and played for Dublin, and I think would have played alongside Jim Gavin at that stage, and that's where the relationship grew up. But what did this Dublin group need? Probably a performance coach, which is what he is at Dublin, at Leinster, and has obviously been there and done it with Dublin as well. It's probably about right, because by and large they should have, give or take, they should have the raw ingredients to win in All-Ireland in any year, given what they're working with population-wise. So
logistics, yeah.
That's probably what they need. It'll just be interesting to see. There's some chat about Stephen Cluxton maybe coming in as a coach. Does Brian Fenton come back? Some chat about Johnny Cooper going in as coach.
I mean, Brian Fenton did retire. It wasn't just a summer in America, He did.
He did. Well, what age is he? 30?
He's young. He's 31 or 32, I think.
Yeah. Plenty of.
I mean, Cluxton could easily be a player coach as well and stay put. The thing about Dublin is, for years and years, they went without winning the All-Ireland. We are talking about the last decade of this freak generation, decade and a half. So maybe we actually are in this, we just gone past this unbelievable era for them, so it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to win it. If you're talking about logistics, then Dublin should also be winning the hurling.
Only that traditionally hurling hasn't had the foothold that football has had.
But it's still a big enough population.
Underage up. Yeah, and that may change on the track, but you could also say that the counterpoint to what you're saying is prior to that area of dominance that they were just mismanaged. I don't mean that from a manager of the football team point of view, but just generally from a...
Well, when was the last time that Dublin were out and out poor as opposed to underperforming?
They were probably out and out poor for years when people thought they were underperforming. Do you know what I mean? In the 2000s. Yeah.
When's the last time that a person has been appointed as an inter-county senior boss directly from a different sport?
You asked me this question because you asked me in the kitchen, and I said Jim McGuinness.
And I said, that's a great answer, but he was at the time not involved in soccer.
No, and in fact at the time had been, no more than we were talking about the Keenan Eels' world, had been working with other counties. I think, was he working with Down, working with Galway, had a bit of an involvement in Louth. Yeah, Louth club somewhere. Good question, Colm. Our viewers will let us know.
But he's not, again, we'd say for another sport, it's not, that's just his job. It just so happens to be a job in sport.
Yeah, he's working in a different sport, though.
But didn't he was in Gaelic football first.
He was, yeah. But it's been a while since he has been in Gaelic football, and it's interesting that a county as prominent as this would appoint someone who's been out of the game for a few years.
Well, I presume he's still been working at club level. It's not, again, the sport where he's not like he's left GA to go pursue a career in rugby. He's still probably been involved in GA, as anyone is who's working as a teacher or working as anything else. You don't say when someone comes in that they've come from a job in teaching, they've come from an education background.
I'm not necessarily suggesting it's a negative. It's more just interesting because they have, by the looks of it, they had a guy who was ready and raring to go and had an amazing year with the county that arguably overachieved and allowed. But maybe Ger Brennan was never in consideration. Maybe he was and he doesn't want this.
Well, Declan Darcy was talked about it. Desi was only a couple of years in the gig, and there was some sort of chatter that he might have given it up, and at that point Declan Darcy was linked to it. And I was looking at, Declan Darcy had been in and around Leinster a little bit, maybe 21 into 22 and then got the full-time gig in 22. And Leo Cullen said at the time about him, there's many different aspects as to what he'd be doing. From a leader's point of view, having a bit of facilitation around leaders, what that looks like on the field, sometimes a bit of separation from day-to-day rugby coaches as well. I think that's always helpful for individuals to have that sounding board. Someone with Dec's experience then as well, and what he brings to us as coaches. There's lots of different parts of that role as a performance coach. So like there's a bit of like vagueness about that, but also you take that to mean a bit of the Jim Gavin continuation in terms of facilitation and let other people get on with the specifics of tactics and coaching and fitness and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that's my point is I think that's exactly what Dublin need.
Do you think regardless of who gets the Dublin job that they'll be contenders next year?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not saying that if I got the Dublin job they'd be contenders next year.
I think
I'm
you'd win Leinster.
Whoever...
Well, it would be a hell of an achievement considering they'd be regaining Leinster rather than retaining.
But I think the point being that they will make whatever decision they make, because there's only 2 or 3 names in the hat anyway.
Yeah, they
will be contenders.
They're just bound to be by the like quite. Yes, even this year they fell far off and they still were in a quarter final.
Yeah.
That's far off for them.
Why? No, I know what you mean, far off, but like it's not inconceivable, I suppose. You wouldn't go like, geez, be mad next year if they got to a semi-final.
No, it wouldn't. Even if they got to a final, I wouldn't be mad. No. I was hatting them this year. I was kind of putting an imaginary tenner on them by I'd say early stages of the All-Ireland series. And for whatever reason, I'm not as hatting them next year.
Yeah.
It does depend. Like if you got Fenton back or whatever, then it's...
Yeah, I don't know if he'll come.
I don't think he will either, to be honest with you. But
Welland is the... John McHugh tells
that'd be a game changer.
The things I want to get to here, if you don't mind my saying, Noel Cattle has a comment to you, Adrian, from the very start here on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And now the word arrogant has been thrown in. I hope you don't mind, but there's great respect in the comment as well. Can you ask Adrian, does he still think him hoping Australia win the second test was the best, as now would show how arrogant that was? Maybe that was general consensus, because more than likely they would have lost the series.
I don't consider that to have been arrogant.
I don't think so either. I'd agree with you there.
And I don't think it was even outlandish.
No.
And I don't assume that if Australia had won the second test that they would have also won the third one. There's a lot of people who are way more qualified than I am to talk about it, having a feeling that no matter what was been said internally with the Lions, that it was game over, ball burst after they were 2-0 up. And it's hard to recheck in after that. It's hard to have the same hunger.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Listen.
Did you enjoy the series?
Great question. Thought it was grand.
That was the fear, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was fine, wasn't it?
You and I would actually enjoy the Lions, generally speaking. Yeah, me too.
Didn't even cross my mind to watch the third one.
Mental.
On the week.
There you are.
Didn't even cross.
There you are. Wow.
Like, there's no point.
Wow.
Even after the first day, and to me that was to my discredit, but after the first day you were kind of like... Right,
that's so arrogant.
The writing on the wall. Well, I am notoriously arrogant rugby supporter. But
you can't say anything to him when he says it himself.
We'll declare here on day one. That's it, done. Grand, great word.
Second test was very, very good.
Brilliant.
Very entertaining. I jumped off the couch when Hugo Keenan put the winning try down, and for 10 seconds I was jubilant, and then the following 10 seconds I was regretful. Because I wanted a climactic third test. I was slightly relieved because I knew I'd be at the festival, so it'd be difficult to watch the match. But generally, I did want it to go to 3.
You weren't having my point about Blair Kinghorn?
No, I was listening to you say it live. I was interested in what you were saying, and I watched it back. So this is your point about the Matt Jorgensen try just after the lightning warning break, and he runs down the right flank, but it's a ceding of possession from the Lions, seemingly between Blair Kinghorn and Bundy Aki. It's interesting to listen to Brian O'Driscoll last night, who said that Aki was waiting for a different line of passing and had missed his opportunity from a previous pass from Kinghorn. Yeah. But your point, I think, I don't want to put words in your mouth, was that Kinghorn physically illustrated his exasperation at the situation and stopped trying, and that allowed Jorgensen to get through.
Correct.
So I watched it back again, and I didn't think that was the case. I didn't think he was getting to it anyway.
Did you see? That's fair. There's a point where we agree. There's a point up to which we agree, and then there's a divergence.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I can't say for sure, but there was a second and a half where he definitely delayed getting back into his channel.
Yeah, and I guess my point is, and maybe for the aesthetics of it, that he should have done that. but I don't know if he was ever in contention with stopping Jorgensen. I think Finn Russell, like in the first test, was the closest to trying to stop a speedster from scoring a try, which is never going to happen.
No. Yeah, listen, again, I don't know the exact answer to it, but Farrell plays the ball to
But
Kinghorn.
I haven't heard anyone else say it.
I can't remember it.
So
and then Kinghorn goes to play to Aki. Aki has overrun him.
Yeah.
Brian explains it in better detail than I do, but he's overrun him, at which point Kinghorn has the option to hold on to it or let Aki overrun him and then pass it back to maybe Sheehan coming through. Anyway, he doesn't do any of those things. He plays the forward pass to Aki, who then ends up fumbling it. Sheehan's on the ground. Messy ball. Jorgensen picks it up and he's gone the half of the pitch and he's over. And while that happens, Kinghorn does a bit of that, and I couldn't figure out, was he exasperated at himself or at Bundy Aki? And either way, it doesn't actually make a whole pile of beans of difference. But what it does do is delays him getting back into his channel to make a tackle. I don't know that he would have got it, but I do suspect he'd have had a chance.
Jorgensen must have a very particular niche that he's carved for himself in being like the most opportunistic winger that I've seen. Like that try he scored at Twickenham to beat England last November, and then the first test where he catches Gary Owen and runs exactly the same flank, just in a different city in Australia, does the same thing here, and he was lethal, and he exposed possibly a lack of pace in the Lions. And if you have the 3 tests back again, like I wonder if Australia had just warmed up properly, that this could have been a seriously good series. I do think on reflection it was better than most people anticipated. I think a lot of people anecdotally and both officially were nonplussed heading into it because of the level of the opposition, which is where Matt Williams comes into play.
He held up a try, by the way, in that second test as well. Great game, Jorgensen.
And you see, and we were asking Matt yesterday how many Aussies would get into the combined 15 in the tour. And he said not many, and then he started naming them. It was like 5 or 6 because there was Jorgensen himself, and then Tate McDermott off the bench was like hugely influential. Tom Lynagh grew into it big time. Then you have the 2 boys, of course, in the forwards. Had they played more, had they played in the first test, again could be a different situation altogether. So I think it was and Wright as well, the fullback. I think it was the warm up killed them. The first half of the first test is where you checked out, and I understand a lot of people went with you as well because that was really poor. I think 5 out of the 6 halves were decent, at least at times.
Yeah. Just on that, I don't expect maybe everyone to know, but like, is it normal for the host country to have more games beforehand?
Great question again. I don't know the answer to that. And like oftentimes, obviously, the players will be playing with their clubs or the provinces or whatever, and that feeds into it. But like, you can't. So it's evident that they got better every game that went on.
But by the same token, the Lions' emphasis for winning became less and less.
You know, it did totally. And actually, the Lions got worse and worse. So there's like an anti-logic to what I'm saying nearly. But you couldn't help but feel that one game wasn't enough preparation for them. And like, it's this big financial beast that's, you know, the Lions are spoken about with such respect. Did it show enough respect to have one warm-up game? Like, in hindsight, it doesn't take a genius to work out that they should have played another one.
Yeah, I know they should have. Yeah, like they were.
I don't know the answer to your question.
I would be interested though if it is something that's done, because we were saying it afterwards. So they go right into rugby championship now.
Yeah, so they have a really busy year. Like,
yeah, and they'll obviously all been playing club, whatever else, and I don't know. It just kind of strikes me that
then the question: what's more important for them is the rugby championship or the Lions tour. So maybe they're going along very nicely, like Australia. Maybe they're kind of happy enough. Like, they're regretful about the first test, but happy enough since.
Well, if that's the case, then the Lions isn't worth a toss.
Well, that is a salient point. But with the wait 12 years for it to happen again, for these 2 particular sides, can the producer please play some audio of people brushing their teeth? That wouldn't actually bother me at all. It's the visual aspect.
If only we had a visual aspect.
Garmack is in here saying Porridge is the only one that keeps hunger away till lunchtime. It's a good point. And obviously DK is saying you're bang on there.
It's not true.
Yeah, Weetabix pretty good.
Yeah.
Is there a Weetabix worker here? It doesn't know. That's true. 0879 180 180. What fills you till lunchtime? I'll tell you what fills me with joy. Watching Keith Andrews managing a Premier League side at Brentford. I like that video of him in the detail. And look, at this stage, without a ball being kicked and see him on the sideline in an official Premier League game, you can only read so much into what you're seeing here in video. But I do like his communication style. You yourself, out of the 3 of us, would be most used to that. He used to do a lot of work for us, Keith. He had his own show on Off the Ball, Keith Andrews' show. So he was always being a very charismatic talker, very engaging, charming person. But it's amazing to see his rapid ascension, isn't
I thought you were going to say that. I thought your reference here was you as an engaging, charming person. I thought that
I could have. I had an option.
You could have done that, yeah.
But it was the only reason I didn't say it because of the time. That's all.
Absolutely. Like when he was.
And his captain's Irish now. Nathan Collins will officially the Brentford captain.
In his time here, he was very driven for good stuff around the show, for the best guests, for the best production. Tommy Rooney was producing it at that time, and he was really great to work with, like very demanding. But it's just,
really,
yeah, in a good way.
Like what? Like
wanting all the the most resources and the best of everything.
Difficult place in the show.
Plenty of coffees down in Shoe Lane. Do you know Shoe Lane?
Yeah, great one. That's one by Tara Street.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, no, it'll be interesting because like the thing is, he's built up this relationship with these players as in one role.
In one season.
In one season. And then suddenly he's like, oh, now I'm your manager. And like even like I see he's very tactile with the players.
Yeah.
Like just all of that. Now I need to behave like a manager. Even that must be difficult. Like what am I going to do when I turn up to work on Monday? And I'm not set piece coach anymore. There is a bit of a that must be all a challenge. I was interested to see Thomas Frank Daniel Levy was on with Gary Neville during the week, and Gary Neville said to him, Thomas Frank has come in, something like, how do you know this is going to work? I was fascinated to hear what he was going to say. You don't.
Yeah.
Like, how do you know? Like, only a fool sits there and says, well, here's the reason that this is going to work. And Daniel Levy answered it brilliantly because he's gave some version of that where he said, who knows, but like we believe that this is the best person to do it, which I thought was a good response.
Yeah. Like, look, for the last 2 seasons, it's the promoted 3 have gone right back down. And I have to admit that is my slight fear here.
I do, yeah. I don't think that was Brentford.
But not solely because of a first-time manager in the role. They've lost so many essential figures. And they could lose their other star forward, and Johan Visa. There's a very good chance he wants to go. He's on the record saying he wants to go, so he's hoping for a move to Newcastle. But they lost Christian Norgard as well, their captain, in Bumo. Now they're like for goalkeepers, so at least they have that. But they're just not as strong as they were.
Up. I thought you'd be saying.
No. I don't know yet because Flecken has been a Premier League number 1, and we haven't seen Queeveen yet.
It's such an Irish aspect, an Irish outlook to it.
But that's going to be better. We're going to be unbelievably biased towards Brentford all season, and we should absolutely engage with that. Like Brentford should be the official team for Off the Ball Breakfast.
I'm hoping to go and see them play United
class
in September.
Where's that?
In Brentford.
Oh, okay,
it's a good stadium. All accounts.
Yeah.
You'd be worried for him, like. Just because it's going to be like, it's not like he's so in that, like we obviously have a different relationship with him in Ireland, but like in that environment, he's so disposable.
He is. Now the only thing is like Brentford have taken such a gamble on him, and everybody understands it's
kinda. It's not even like it's a gamble. He was in the building.
I know, but they can't. Well, listen, they'd have had any amount of options. They would have had. Like,
depends
I'm not
the
saying,
money they're paying.
I'm not saying top.
Yeah,
right?
not top.
But they were reportedly talking with Mauricio Pochettino.
And why not?
That nonsense.
That the poo-poo.
But like, listen, there would have been obviously an experienced manager. I'm not talking about your journeyman, but like there would have been plenty of experienced managers who they could have brought in there as a safe pair of hands. They have like proactively taken a gamble on him, and from what I understand, have been massive fans of what he's done, and like this is all a very deliberate thing as opposed to just a. Who's around? It's not the Late Show, right?
They took a long old time to announce it.
It's not RTE like picking guests for the Late Show and looking around the canteen. This is like
that is how you suggested.
There was weeks between Frank leaving and the guy in the building getting the job.
But I think that was more to do with how. What do you mean? That's a short period of time?
No. Like it was for it to be like, here's our knockdown thing of if he goes, which they knew he was going to be going. Like at some point, here's our options.
Yeah. Now, like I don't know any of this information. Like he may not have been their first choice, but he certainly wasn't their 10th. Do you know what I mean? Like they were obviously looking at him and going, "This is somebody we rate." Like it's come very early in his career. Maybe even Brentford might have said, well, if Thomas Frank was here for another 2 years, the ownership had to have been thinking about him as an option as manager. They had to have now given him the job.
At what point last season did they even subconsciously consider to themselves, this guy has potential as manager.
They had to have been.
Because it is a ridiculous leap of faith. Whatever about their budget and their constraints there, or maybe the lack of interest from external candidates, it is still a massive risk. Because you're talking about, well, the guy was in the building already. I think it's the ultimate risk when the guy is in the building already, because it's a continuation policy that you're trying from the previous manager, who's going to be one of your rivals this season.
And think about the optics of, Jesus, what are they going to say when we give the set-piece coach who's been doing it for a year the gig, and whether that works out or not. Like, way easier to have taken a different route. But my point is ultimately the fact that they've now chosen this. They have to be patient with him.
Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah, well,
I think he's far more. It's like hands up, because you've like whatever of his situation, and God knows what the financial dealings are, but he's not going to have cost as much as a more experienced manager would.
But I don't think they're doing it for that reason.
No, I don't think so. But I think they're probably so smart in their fact that if they came through the summer and it was like, we don't have the person we want, okay, we're not going to pay a load of money to someone who we don't actually want. Here's a relatively short-term fix. And that's not to say it's like we'll take it back off you again when we get who we want, but it's like it's a low enough stakes risk in terms of if it goes wrong, it's an easy fix rather than having pumped loads of money on getting someone else in with loads. I just think that's not a criticism. I think that's probably smart, and I think it's an opportunity. But I don't think they were like. I don't think it necessarily means they were like, oh, this is the guy.
I think they were.
I don't think he has a body of work.
Because I don't think that I think if you were in any way removed from that mindset, then he wouldn't get the gig.
But he doesn't have a body of work to demonstrate that.
Well, but he does in their eyes, because they've seen him around the building, albeit for a year. But they were obviously impressed enough. Well,
they wanted to give it to the assistant, didn't they? Frank's assistant, but he left.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean,
maybe Keith was the second choice.
I'd be amazed. Well, we know it wasn't, because again the Pochettino thing. But
yeah,
who knows?
Do we regret the porridge talk at the start of the show? Because we're out of time now, and we have to go. And there's two other topics I wanted to discuss. Bobby Dwyer, speaking of the greats of YouTube, has come right back and storming back in, because we're back to talking Spurs here. Son, leaving Spurs after 10 years. It wasn't in the agenda for today. Well, hopefully we'll get to it at some point. And I wanted to talk with you both about Dele Alli. This is incredible, really. At 29 years of age, is reportedly considering retirement after Cesc Fabregas has ruled him out of contention for being involved with Colm. And I have ended fascination with this boy. Like, for a guy who was heavily linked at Real Madrid a few years ago, a star of the Premier League in the middle to the end of the last decade, 2015, 16, 17. I think that latter season he scored 18 Premier League goals from this curious Dele Alli specific position of not quite midfield, not quite up front. And now, before the age of 30, the news is that he's considering retiring.
Yeah.
I've rarely seen a player like this. Could never really nail what type of a player he was, but he was very effective. He wasn't particularly skillful, or he wouldn't in terms of on the ball. He didn't have a big range of passing. But then he'd score you unbelievable goals, like Sellers Park against Crystal Palace. Played in the World Cup for England, played in the semi-final.
Here we are. Make reference to another Gary Neville conversation, but post that chat with Neville, was that 2 years ago, where he spoke about sort of all the issues, mental health issues,
a horrendous childhood.
Yeah. You kind of felt like that might be the bit of catharsis that he needed to.
And everyone hoped for that too.
Career, and they did. And at that point, people had gone from, Jesus, I'm sorry for being such an asshole about this.
Totally.
To hoping that he would do well.
Totally. I remember talking about it the morning after on the show, and it was just released, and the sentiment in the YouTube comments that morning was like, we got a lot wrong about this boy. And then ever since, we barely haven't seen him. He got sent off for Colm when he came out against AC Milan. Within a few minutes. Kyle Walker was trying to tell the ref, don't send them off.
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
So there is kind of a vulnerability to him, but it's amazing.
There's more important things than football.
Totally.
In his life.
That's exactly it. But anyway, when I saw the news, the first thing I thought was just unbelievably sad. Reporting here this morning that Manchester United are closing in on the Benjamin Šeško deal. Where are they getting all his money from? Who knows?
The owners.
Yeah, but the owners famously said last year that there's no money.
Yeah.
And now here we are, with them signing, paying a hefty fee for one of the most sought after forwards in European football.